Alright, welcome back to Impossible Versus Matches, where we take pop culture characters, put them against each other, all sorts of scenarios. I'm joined by my good friend, Craig.
It's your boy.
Smash that like button. Check us on Twitch.
Talk shit in the comment section.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen the show by now, you should get on that. Each of us has a list of 50 pop culture characters. We're going to spin a randomizer wheel, and we're going to come up with improvised scenarios on how these characters are going to cross over and have beef with each other. Not as much who would win, just how we're going to get there. With that being said, Craig, do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first this time?
You can go first this time.
Okay, go ahead and spin that wheel.
Spinning.
Who do we have?
Oh, shit. Freakazoid. Okay, so you do know. I was worried. I was like, I don't know how many people know Freakazoid.
Oh, I know Freakazoid.
Okay, cool. Well, let's see what you get.
He's one of those difficult characters, though, where it's hard to make comedy out of just random comedy. So we're going to see where we end up. I'm going to just do that again. So we're going to see who we end up on. Huh. I think I'll try this. So you got Freakazoid, I got Kevin Malone. You remember Kevin Malone, right? He's the fat guy from The Office. He's the one that spills the chili.
Oh, Kevin. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know his last name. Okay, wow. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. I was kind of hoping that I'd sit on him for a bit because I've been blazing through The Office at this point. They have that British woman as the manager now.
I don't think I ever got to that point.
I'm on like season 8 or 9.
Oh shit! I only watched like the first couple.
Yeah. Once Steve Carell leaves, it's kind of I'm seeing a decline.
Yeah, downhill from there.
Yeah, it was okay like at the start of him leaving, but then it kind of it's kind of lost like the charm a little bit for me. But I'm determined to finish it anyway, just so I can have a full opinion. But so Kevin, he's the guy that spills the chili. He's really stupid. He's slow. He's pervy.
Yeah,
and he's
a slob.
He's just horny as fuck for no reason.
Gross.
He's just a gross slob. So he honestly fits the exact description of like a villain that Freakazoid would have. For those of you who don't know because you didn't watch the season and a half of Freakazoid, it's one of the classic Steven Spielberg like Warner Bros. Saturday morning cartoons.
I feel like I just watched it on Cartoon Network when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was on Cartoon Network for a while. Like Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Tiny Toons. Freakazoid was just the other one.
Yes.
It was the last one to come out, and it was the least successful, but that's because of time blocks, but the humor was very strange.
Yeah.
Very, very random type humor, where Freakazoid's a superhero that can just do anything. He has like an electrical aesthetic, but he like never uses it.
No. He runs really fast, stuff like that.
Right. So
he's essentially Deadpool.
Yeah, he's Deadpool, or he's very much like The Mask, the Jim Carrey mask.
Yeah, that's a better description.
Yeah, The Mask and Deadpool. He's one of those characters.
Yeah.
So, there are a few ways I could take this.
I have one idea.
Kevin is bored working at Dunder Mifflin. This is a few years into The Office. So like Steve Carell is not there. It's gone on for quite a bit. Like basically we're in the era where, YouTube is a thing. Almost golden age YouTube before all the like YouTubers and like David Dobrik buys 7 cars for his friend or whatever. This is back when just anything could go on YouTube. And Kevin's like really bored at the office, and he sees a colorful cartoon get recommended to him of like clips of Freakazoid, and he's like, I'm really bored. I'd like to watch Freakazoid.
Mojo's top 10 Freakazoid moments.
Yeah. This is probably before that. Fuck Watch Mojo. So he's like, I can get away without doing work. Oscar and Angela will do the work for me. So he's just sitting there with a snack, and he's like, let's find out what Freakazoid is. And he's like, and Freakazoid's doing some random, bullshit. And he's like, this is very funny.
This is comedy.
Yes. But Freakazoid breaks the fourth wall and starts talking to Kevin through the uploaded YouTube clip. And he's like, "Hey, fatty, what you doing?" And Kevin's just like, "Wait a minute. There's no one fat here." He turns around and looks. He's oblivious to it. He's like, this must have been a big hit when it was on TV. So, Freeze was like, no, stupid, I'm talking to you. And then he, zaps out of the computer, and he's there now. The Freakazoid is in Dunder Mifflin's offices. Where are the other office employees in this situation? How do they react? Irrelevant. At this point, maybe Kevin's the only one in the office. Maybe they all left. Maybe he got sucked down the YouTube rabbit hole that everyone just left. The office is closed now. Also because I'd like to use Dwight later on. But he's like... He looks at him, looks at the computer, looks at Freakazoid, looks at the computer, looks at his snack, eats the snack, looks at Freakazoid, looks at the computer, and he's like, wait a minute. Am I on YouTube? He's like, no, stupid. So basically, Freakazoid is now just antagonizing Kevin, and it's taking Kevin a while to adjust to this. And it becomes like a situation where none of the other employees can actually see Freakazoid, because Freakazoid now follows him around for days.
Oh, God.
And then eventually, Kevin is at home making his famous chili. And he's really stirring it up. And Freakazoid is like, oh, what you got there? And he reaches into the chili, and at that exact moment there's some liquid in the chili. He's digital now because he's come out of the computer. There's some liquid in there. Somehow the electricity within him merges with the chili.
Oh, God.
And he goes away, or so we think.
He becomes the chili.
Exactly. He becomes one with the chili, and Kevin's like, oh, looks like he's gone. More for me. So he eats a spoonful of the chili, and then he becomes Kevin Freakazoid.
He looks just like Kevin, but he has the Freakazoid hair.
Yes.
Which, I don't know if you know the hair, but it's this giant fucking,
Bride of Frankenstein, spiky.
Marge Simpson-esque, hair.
And he's just like, that was some good chili. So now he is part Freakazoid, and then he goes into the office, but he's doing Freakazoid stuff. So he's doing everything really
sporadically.
Yeah, but he's also warping reality. And at first he gets along with Freakazoid because he's allowed to use Freakazoid's abilities of reality warping to do things that he wants. He's like, I really wish Angela's breasts were bigger. And then he's just bzzzt, and then suddenly there it is. Because Kevin is gross like that.
Between that and robbing the vending machines.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he totally robs the vending machine. Zaps it, and just all the stuff comes out, and he's like, looks like I have all the candy. Oh. Now I'm the candy man.
Oh, no.
But then Freakazoid starts wanting to, fight crime like he's actually supposed to, because in the show he's mostly doing random stuff but fighting crime maybe like 10% of the time.
Yeah, he's still a good guy.
But Kevin's like, I don't want to do that. I'm not good at running. So they just start having an internal battle in their mind to see which will is stronger, Kevin's sloth-like qualities or Freakazoid's opposite of that. And that's how we go.
I like it.
Had to reach really hard for that one.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough one. I'll give you that.
That was very hard to make those two characters cross over.
Yeah.
But, man, I haven't thought of Freakazoid in so long.
Sam, you know what the funny thing is? The first name I put down on my list.
Freakazoid.
Yeah, I don't even know why. I was trying to
Really?
think of like names to like put down, and like the first 5 minutes, I was like, I don't know a single fucking pop character like in the world. Like for some reason, I was like brain dead, and then all of a sudden, I was just like, oh, Freakazoid. Write that down.
Yeah, every time I add characters to the list, I'm like, I just lose it all for a second, and then I just go into the living room and look at all like the movies and stuff. And I'm like, who can I pick? Which one of you will join me next? But who's not too obscure?
The landlady.
The landlady. Landman.
The 2020 remake.
Well, I'm going to spin the wheel for you.
All right.
And we'll see what our second scenario is of this episode. By the way, if you're just tuning in for a little bit, we're doing some mini episodes. And, yes.
Oh, no. All right, let's see who I get. All right.
Well, we're doing some mini episodes while I go away for a bit just to ease up production for the month of August. Maybe we might just keep doing these two scenarios just to make things a little bit easier and be able to upload even more frequently. But let's go into this next scenario, and I have no idea who you got.
So I recently watched a horror movie on Hulu a month or so ago called Pilgrim.
Okay.
Okay, alright, so just quick synopsis of the movie. It's this like rich-ass family. They usually have like just a normal, typical Thanksgiving. But this year, the wife decided, yo, I'm gonna hire these Pilgrim reenactors to come stay with us for a few days and like, you know, teach us all about Thanksgiving and the pilgrimage and like, you know, make really like awesome, like legit food and all that stuff. And then slowly but surely it turns into a horror movie and that the pilgrims are actually completely insane.
You know, I'm going to have to say, Craig, you got to re-roll for this one.
Oh, it's a fun one.
Dude, I got Johnny from The Room, Tommy Wiseau's character. You know he deserves something a little more mainstream than that.
I guess, fine.
You know he does, but I like that. I'm going to have to watch that movie.
It's pretty good.
I'm going to come over and watch
that. Second spin, I got Donnie from the Wild Thornberrys. A young Tarzan, if you will.
That one is up to you. I'm okay with it, but if you don't want to do Donnie from the Wild Thornberrys versus
Johnny from fucking Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'm tired of this world. Listen here, Craig. You spin wheel and get something worthy of my Hollywood status.
Alright. I think I'll just have to roll with this because I don't want to do another spin because I feel like that's just at that point catering.
I am so into this.
So I've landed on Draco Malfoy.
Draco Malfoy!
Of the Harry Potter saga, if
this
you will.
Is perfect because Kathy and I actually just watched all of the Harry Potter movies because
nice.
I've told you before, I gave up at 4. Like, I watched 4 and I'm like, I don't need to watch any more of these movies.
I don't blame you.
Back when they came out.
The first 4 are the best, in my opinion.
And, the fourth one, I think, kinda sucks. The first 3, great.
Dude, the fourth one, read the book. It's so sick.
Yeah, I do remember the book. But, yeah, fourth one's, like, alright, but it was enough to turn me off of the series. And then recently we watched the rest, and I was like, this is nice, but this is no longer a fun adventure.
Oh, no, they turn bleak.
Yeah, it turns bleak, and I'm not having a good time.
Yeah, no, it just, yeah.
But I am already in love with... Everybody betrayed me. I'm fed up with this world. Against Draco Malfoy. It's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Okay.
How about some football in tuxedos?
So I thought of a couple ways to go about this already, but
Okay.
I'm just gonna go with this one. See how it pans out.
Now, are you using... have you seen all the Harry... You've seen all the Harry Potter movies,
Yes.
right? Or did you give up like me?
No, I've seen all.
Okay, so are you going with Malfoy as, like, post-Hogwarts, or are you picking a year?
I'm going year one. Talking young.
Oh, year
young
one,
Malfoy.
just like, he's just a dick.
Yeah, he's just a little douche.
He's not even trying to kill people, he's just a fucking douchebag.
Yeah, he's just a little douche.
Okay, that's perfect.
Spouting fucking hate and shit, but alright.
Alright.
Alright, cool. Paint the picture now. Alright, hear me out. So, Johnny, from The Room, clearly a grown-ass man.
Yes.
For whatever reason...
Tell me he's a first year too!
Johnny gets a letter in the mail.
Da, 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 da. Oh, look, owl. Oh, look, a pigeon.
Oh, I go to a really prestigious school. So...
I'm only 10.
So, yeah, exactly. So, for whatever reason, the Hogwarts administration clearly thinks Johnny is, like, fucking 10. Or, like, 11 or however fucking old he is.
He's like 56.
They think, actually, that due to some magic spell, Johnny looks the way he does. He got hit with, like, an age charm.
Sure.
We're gonna roll with that.
Benjamin Buttonus.
Yeah, he's a reverse Benjamin Button disease. I don't know, but naturally, Johnny decides, yeah, I'm definitely gonna go to this prestigious magical school. He has no idea what he's getting himself into. By the way,
I am magical. I am wizard.
Yeah, he thinks he is clearly a special little boy. So. He gets on the train, to go to Hogwarts. He's pretty excited. Again, has no idea what he's going to get himself into. Draco rolls in his cart, and he's all like, "Yo, what's up, you old ass man?"
I'm not old. I am young-blooded.
Yeah, I'm young-blooded. Draco calls him a filthy mudblood, spouting that racist bullshit.
Yeah.
So that's their first encounter.
Okay.
Obviously, Johnny is just completely oblivious to everything Draco's saying, so Draco gets mad and just leaves the cabin. So they make it to Hogwarts. Johnny is obviously like...
Oh, so they met on the train. Okay.
Yeah. So they get off the train. They're off the train now. They're like finally at the school. Johnny, for whatever reason, is just completely oblivious to like the magic that's happening around him. He's just like, oh, good effects.
Wow, it's a real Hollywood movie.
Oh, technology. He thinks he's at some like high-tech fucking school or some shit, I don't know.
Real quick, I love that this is also year one, because now I'm imagining the events of Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone if you're nasty. I'm imagining the events of the movie, like when Harry and Malfoy meet for the first time, they're like on the stairs and like, join up with me, you don't want to end up with the wrong sword. And like in the background, I imagine like Tommy just like, haha, stairs.
Yeah, he's just like looking around like randomly like
or like, troll in the dungeon, and he's just sitting there at the table like, oh, chicken, very good.
Who made food?
It wasn't me, I want takeout.
Alright, so they make it to the grand ballroom or whatever, like the dining hall, and they're doing the sorting hat. Everyone gets sorted into their notable schools. Naturally, Johnny also gets sorted into the Slytherin house.
Of course.
Naturally.
I was about to say, he has to.
Oh, he has to. And of course, his bunk buddy in the room with him is also Draco Malfoy.
No, he's like twice the size of the bed.
Yeah. Again, no one suspects anything.
It's a Tom Hanks in Big scenario.
Essentially, yes.
Holy shit.
So, first couple days go by. They don't get along by any means, but they kind of don't pay any attention to each other. Draco be talking shit from time to time, as he naturally does.
Yeah.
So now they are in their first broom class, if you will, to learn how to fly on a broomstick.
I remember that one.
Yes. So essentially, Harry Potter can go fuck himself. He actually sucks in this universe.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny...
Is Johnny the chosen one?
Oh, yeah. Johnny gets on that fucking broomstick and he just fucking yeets it out of there. He's flying all around. Everyone's just impressed. Draco, clearly pissed off, is like, no, I gotta sabotage this fucker. So Draco is now like on a quest to sabotage Johnny.
Harry doesn't mean anything.
Oh, yeah. Harry's there, but he's just a total fucking dweeb.
Another side note, this is the flying class.
Yes.
In that first movie, we see that flying teacher, and she's the one that like teaches everyone how to fly. She is never seen or heard from again for the rest of the series, and I want to know what happened. Do they just not need to fly anymore after that? Are brooms irrelevant to people that don't play Quidditch? I don't know. Harry Potter doesn't make any sense.
Holy shit! Now that you think about it, like, why the fuck would you even have a flying car if you just got a broomstick? Like.
Yeah, exactly.
And shit, at one point they just start teleporting everywhere.
Yeah, why do you need the broom?
Quidditch, man.
Is the flying class only relevant if they might play Quidditch?
The only thing I can think of is that's like a good like starting off point of magic. So like when they're all like yelling up at the broomstick and it like fucking.
While we're at it, Movie 3 has a device that can turn time backwards. You can literally travel through time. There's a absolutely crazy magical object, and one, it is never seen or mentioned again or used. They could have prevented so many deaths. They could have caused the death of Voldemort himself. And not only that, but they have this crazy thing that can make you travel through time, and they give it to a 13-year-old so she can do more than one class at the same time.
Hear me out here. All right, hear me out.
Harry Potter's bullshit, right?
So, I love the Harry Potter series. Great books. But I agree with Joe. And and I can explain all this, and it's very simple, actually. J.K. Rowling is a fucking hack. Bitch wrote herself into a fucking corner and was all like, shit, what do I do? Time travel, fuck it, YOLO.
Because time travel, that's usually the last-ditch effort.
Yeah, no, she ran out of ideas fucking
she used
book three.
Yeah. And then she's just like, let's make it serious. Let's kill everyone.
Yeah, fuck them.
Let's kill people we love. George R.R. Martin, can you teach me how to write? But anyway, so Tommy from the room is flying around.
Yeah, he's flying around. He becomes like fucking captain of the Quidditch team, like right off the bat.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking golden boy over here.
And he still doesn't even know.
No, he still has zero fucking clue what's happening. Again, Draco's pissed off, so Draco starts to try to sabotage Johnny. Tries to, like, poison his food, does nothing. Johnny's got an iron stomach.
Of course he does.
Fucking eats whatever he wants.
I eat what I want. I don't go to your house, tell you what to eat.
One time he ate a whole plastic bottle, I saw it.
I did not hit her.
So, at this point, Draco doesn't know what to do, so he's going to try to get Johnny expelled from school. Alright?
Okay.
So he lies to the teachers and is all like, yo, fucking Johnny just beat the ever-living fuck. Just beat the shit out of that Hermione bitch. Just beat the ever-living fuck out of her. So they called Johnny in and
I did not hit her.
Literally instantaneously, I did not hit her. Like he
I did not hit her. I did not. This is bullshit. I did not.
So at this point now, Johnny's a little pissed off now. Finally, after fucking months of this bullshit, Johnny's finally fucking mad, and he challenges fucking Draco to a duel. All right.
Okay.
So as they start the duel, Draco pulls out his wand naturally. Tommy Wiseau pulls out a fucking 357 snub nose.
He's just got that thing on him.
He's got his tool, right?
Oh.
So from there, you can decide what happens from there. But that is essentially how the fight starts.
Well, first, I want to mention, way back, Tommy's on the Hogwarts Express train.
Yes.
He buys all of the candy before Harry has a chance to buy all the candy, because Harry does that like big dick move where he's like, "We'll take the lot."
Yeah, we'll take the trolley.
And he takes the entire like cart of food away from all the other children.
Like a
and no
total
one else.
douche.
Yeah, it's the biggest dick move, and I'll never get over it. Where he just buys everything because he's like, "I've got money." Not only does he take it from all of the children, but he sees that Ron's poor, so he's just like, "I'll take everything."
It's flex.
Yeah, it's just like,
I'm rich or poor.
Remember, I did this to you. You're my bitch now. But now, snack car gets to Tommy first. Like, Tommy's in the car right before Harry Potter. And it's like, "Oh, is that candy? I love candy. I'm just a child. I take all the candy."
Due to selling counterfeit jeans and underwear.
To Hogwarts children.
2 children. He now has mad money.
He sells, like, this dope pair of jeans to, like, Hagrid. He's like, "Oh, I could use these." He's like, "I make them in your size. You just tell me what measurement I make." The one spell he can use is the one that conjures counterfeit jeans out of nowhere.
They're counterfeit FUBU jeans, too, by the way.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, from there, I was talking about this while I was watching all the Harry Potter movies. I'm like, what if someone just brought a gun?
I think we've all thought that eventually.
Like, I don't think magic is going to. I don't think magic's going to stop that, because they have to be faster than a bullet.
No. When the choppers start clapping, you know.
Yeah. So Tommy just shoots Malfoy, and then that's it. And then he shoots his dad too, because his dad comes up, because his dad's about that life, and he shoots his dad too, and it's that simple. But.
Well, I was gonna say, well, I mean, at this point, clearly Johnny's from America, so
Yeah.
School shooting.
Yeah, he's from New Orleans.
So a school shooting ensues. No one can stop this absolute madman.
So now I personally had a different scenario.
Go on.
So this is set during that mystery year of Hogwarts. So this is after, the Dark Lord's been defeated, but I couldn't help but notice that none of the kids actually attend any classes in, like, the last 3 movies at all.
No, not
so,
much.
So, I'm going to say, now, Kathy gave me an explanation. She's like, "Oh yeah, they were just excused of that." I'm like, well, Harry still fucking sucks. Harry has no wizarding ability. He has 2 spells. He's the Naruto of wizards. He has 2 abilities, and that's what he uses all the time.
I feel like they all do, though. Like, I feel like no one in that series, like, does anything that cool. I'm like, it's filled with fucking magic, but you guys just use the same few spells.
Yeah, and just use the Expelliarmus.
Yeah.
But, like, Hermione actually, like, uses a bunch of different ones that could have been useful, but doesn't use them all the time. But anyway, so this takes place in that mystery year. Now, my canon that I'm using is everyone got held back due to, terrorist evil wizard attacks. So everyone has to, do one more year of Hogwarts where everyone can finally just experience, like, so this is what school is supposed to be.
What it's actually supposed to be like.
Yeah, because there's been, like, absolute bloodshed for the past 8 years at this point.
Complete fucking shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, year 1, that was really just Harry's thing and no one else had anything to do with it. There was a troll, but everything else was okay. But then year 2, kids were, getting petrified by a snake monster. Year 3, there's escaped prisoners and, like, ghost demons. And year 4, people die, and then more and more and more. And it keeps going on. So, like, does Hogwarts get sued? You know what, that's another question. Do they get sued? But anyway. So, Johnny from The Room, I keep calling him Tommy because he is Tommy. He is Tommy Wiseau. Yeah. I'm going to say this takes place in that time period. Now, the defense against the dark arts teacher changes every single year at Hogwarts, and
Factual.
Who is now the defense against the dark arts teacher? Tommy Wiseau.
Oh my god. Okay.
Hello, children. I teach you magic.
I show you how bad guys go away.
Avada Kedavra! Just
kills Neville right off the bat.
It's always Neville.
Little bitch.
Oh my god. Crab and Goyle. Rest in peace. Or in prison.
Can I get an F in the comments, boys?
F in the comments. For Crab and Goyle, the 2 greatest wizards to never live. Oh my god. I started crying laughing, and my nose is running a little bit, but... Okay, so he's now the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and... Of course, like all of them, he takes a liking to Harry or something, and Malfoy's like, you should be proud of me because he's like the prodigy, but everyone thinks that Tommy or Johnny is the prodigy because his accent makes all the spells do something different. So he tries to kill, but he's like, "Ow, cow," and it just makes flowers appear. Like he becomes the greatest, like peaceful wizard of all time because he can't pronounce half the spells.
Turns Neville into a refrigerator or something. I don't know.
Haha! Now you're real cool. Hi, doggy. Alternatively, it's the entire Harry Potter story, but Johnny is Harry. So it's the same thing you were talking about, where he's clearly like a 40-year-old man, like being a first year at Hogwarts, but he goes through all of the story beats, but he doesn't have to work as hard. Like he doesn't need Ron, he doesn't need Hermione.
Yeah, he just falls into success.
Like Sorcerer's Stone, he goes see the three-headed dog. He's like, "Oh hi, doggy, ha ha ha, you're my favorite." And then he just like, kind of walks through everything. He's like, Wizard's Chess, why do I even need to play Wizard's Chess? Waste of time. He just walks through. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from just walking through the Wizard's Chess room, honestly. Actually, yeah, there's nothing stopping them from walking through the Wizard's Chess room, I don't think.
I feel like there's just like an invisible door we don't see where it's like they have to...
Yeah, it's still...
Yeah, it's magic.
I feel like there's no reason that they could have just... Ron sacrificed for nothing. Also, Ron's kind of a fucking loser, but we'll talk about him on another episode, I'm sure. But, so he just goes through all of it, so Malfoy just naturally becomes his enemy as time goes on, and then they end up fighting, or he's the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher.
It can go so many ways.
I mean, like, imagine it's Tommy Wiseau. He plays Snape now.
Oh shit.
he's recast, or Alan Rickman was never Snape. It's just been Tommy Wiseau the whole time.
Yeah,
He's
the
like,
whole thing.
turn to page 394.
Motion.
Ha ha ha! I did not hit her. You're tearing me apart, Voldemort!
Tearing me apart, Harry!
Oh my god. I'm so glad we didn't do the kid from Wild Thornberrys against Johnny.
Yeah, that would have been,
That would not have been as fun.
No, definitely not.
I'm just imagining him, like... Do you remember The Lion King 1.5?
No.
Okay, so Disney made Lion King 2, then they made Lion King 1.5, which was basically, it was just the first movie. It's the same thing as the first movie, it's just like, what were Timon and Pumbaa doing the entire time?
Okay, see, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was like Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah, so it's like the same movie, it's just like, it shows the scenes where they're present from the first movie, and then when they're not on screen, it's like, what were they doing during that time? For like no reason. So this thing that we've discussed is, what is Johnny from The Room doing the whole time during the events of like, just all of the Harry Potter movies. So in the first one, he's always like in the background, like, oh yeah, this is fun. Cool facts. Wow, magic. and like no one cares. He's just there the whole time. And then like when things get dark and like no one's actually attending classes and it's not what's important, he's just like, where's everybody? I'm here in classroom.
He's like in the dining hall by himself, just eating a sandwich just nonchalantly, like not even questioning what's happening. Just kind of like, huh, where is everybody?
You know, at the end, like the last movie, like Voldemort is like making the speech like at Hogwarts, where he's like there, like he just crossed the bridge, and he's right there, and like, you know, Neville makes his last stand or whatever.
Yeah.
Just from the crowd, Johnny just like throws a fucking football right at Voldemort's head, and then he turns into dust. He's like, ah.
It was the final Horcrux.
Yeah, the final Horcrux is a football. Haha. Why don't we play football since we're all in tuxedos?
Let's go for a catch.
No, Johnny, I don't. What are you, chicken, Voldemort? Cheep, 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 cheep.
Oh no.
Oh.
The unsung hero.
Absolutely brilliant. If no one has made an edit where they put Tommy Wiseau into Harry Potter yet, I know they've done it for Avengers, but please put him somewhere else.
Anywhere.
Anyway, put him in Harry Potter. I want to see it. I want to see how he acts during the His name comes out of the Goblet of Fire because obviously he's of age.
He's the chosen one.
He's in the year. He's in the same year as Harry during Goblet of Fire. But Harry's like, his name can't be in there because he's not old enough. But Tommy's name is in there, and they're like, why? Why is your name in there? And he's like, because I'm like 57. They're like, no, you're only a fourth year.
No one just chooses to believe him.
Yeah, because that's the only time that he wants to admit like what his age is, and everyone's just like, no, you're not. You're clearly a second year with Harry and all of them, so you're clearly 12.
You're clearly a 15-year-old school-age boy.
No, I'm not 15. He has no idea what's going on the whole time. I'm very happy that he got in here. I put him on the list because I knew I was going to have you on the show at some point. I'm like, I'm putting him on the list, and I'm just going to keep re-rolling until he ends up on a Craig scenario. And that's what we're going to do.
I can't believe it.
That was fun. It almost became not a versus match for a bit. But long story short, Malfoy fucking hates Johnny from the room. And, you know what, they hate each other because Johnny beat him in football. And Malfoy doesn't even know what football is, but he feels like he should know everything. Beat him in a football catch. It's like, no, you can't use your stick in football, you'll have to use hands. Or he's just like, that's not football because he's British, so he's...
Oh, yeah, so he's saying it's like soccer.
Yeah. So he's like trying to not use his hands. Like, no, stupid.
Big American game.
This is a big American game. I play it all the time in New Orleans.
Nah.
The Big Easy. Alright, so that's been this episode of Impossible Versus Matches. It's versus matches, but they impossible. Soon we have Big Shark versus... Incredible Hulk. That's how we do things, yeah.
I'd pay to see that one.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Also, say something in the comments. Just say it.
Yeah, just say something in the comments. Put your favorite quote from... You know what? Describe to us in the comments, if you are listening. Describe to us Tommy from the Room, or put Tommy Wiseau into Harry Potter. Tell us how it fits. Just pick any of the movies, pick any of the books, any scene, and just tell us. Tell us how Tommy works.
Oh, and also, for me, don't forget to tell me your favorite Crab and Goyle quote down in the comments.
I like the one where they chew their food.
That one's good. I like when Crab stands menacingly behind Goyle, who's standing menacingly behind Draco. That one's...
I like when one of them disappears for no reason and becomes a black guy. Becomes a...
Really ahead of its time.
That did happen, and it threw me for a loop because because one of them is consistent through all the movies, but another one changes actors like twice, and eventually they just make him a black guy and call him a different name, like we should have known him forever.
Well, I want to say...
Well, one of them got like arrested for meth or something like that.
Shit.
One of them either like got in trouble with drugs or like stole a bunch of shit or something. So they ended up getting kicked out of the movie. But like one of them disappears for one movie and then comes back the next, and then the next one is just now a black guy. Like they just replace him constantly.
I didn't notice. Just kidding, I did. But
it's very funny if you look at the epic known as the Crab and Goyle saga. The Crab and Goyle saga. J.K. Rowling, if you're listening, I know you want to make some changes, so please release a whole book detailing all of Crab and Goyle's exploits throughout the entire... Give us the Lion King 1.5, except as the Crab and Goyle version.
But it's actually about their like sexual bromance that ensues. Because, you know, she loves changing all that shit around anyway, so let's just throw in the fact that they are now gay and in love with each other.
Yes.
But they're fighting their urges.
And Malfoy's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, no, he got draked in, like, Degrassi by Tommy Wiseau shooting him in the duel. That's what happened.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yep.
Well... Thanks for joining us on whatever this was. Whatever wild ride this was. And we'll see you next time. I'm Joseph, and I've been joined by Craig. You can find Craig on this channel, you can also watch some Bearded Beard Bros content and see him cook for a bit. Make sure to subscribe and share with your friends. Later.
Have a good day.